Hey man, here's something most men never realize. Real attraction often starts with understanding the hidden desire points in women. When a man understands the mechanics of female desire, erotic psychology, and primal attraction, his presence naturally carries masculine polarity and quiet psychological magnetism. Most guys never learn where these points are, when to activate them, or why they trigger such powerful female arousal triggers. But once you understand the principles behind seductive tension, masculine confidence, and high-value masculinity, everything about attraction dynamics starts making sense. Let's start with the first desire point that quietly awakens subconscious desire and sets the stage for real magnetic masculinity. And before we dive in, if this kind of insight into female desire, masculine leadership, and real attraction dynamics resonates with you, take a moment to like the video and share it with someone who's also on this journey of growth. It helps this message reach more men who are ready to understand magnetic masculinity and build deeper connections. The 5 desire points in women that activate their most erotic side. 1. The first desire point. Most men completely overlook. A wise mentor would explain that the first mistake many men make is assuming female desire starts with obvious places. In reality, erotic psychology reveals something different. The first desire point is the area just behind a woman's ear and along the side of her neck. This zone contains extremely sensitive nerve endings connected to female arousal triggers. When a man approaches slowly with calm masculine confidence, a gentle touch or whisper in that area creates immediate primal attraction. It is not just physical sensation, it activates subconscious desire through proximity, scent, and emotional anticipation. What makes this point powerful is the psychological context surrounding it. A confident man operating from a stable male dominance frame does not rush toward it. Instead, he creates seductive tension first. Imagine a conversation where eye contact lingers a moment longer than usual. The woman begins sensing psychological magnetism and growing primal chemistry. Only then does a light brush near the hairline or neck happen naturally. This sequence triggers instinctive attraction because the brain associates that touch with rising emotional curiosity. Timing matters more than pressure. In fact, the most effective approach uses subtlety. A hand gently guiding her through a doorway, fingers briefly grazing the side of her neck while adjusting her hair. That small movement carries powerful signals of masculine leadership and controlled dominance. The key lies in intention. When a man shows calm certainty and masculine edge, the interaction creates erotic tension rather than discomfort. This is where attraction dynamics begin shifting from friendly conversation toward deeper emotional intensity. Consider a simple real-life scenario. A man named Daniel once struggled to understand why his dates felt polite but distant. After learning about seductive intelligence and female fantasy triggers, he began slowing down his interactions. During a quiet conversation at a rooftop bar, he leaned closer while listening, lightly moving a strand of hair away from his date's neck. That tiny gesture created immediate seductive presence. She smiled, leaned closer, and the entire atmosphere changed. What activated was not force, but magnetic masculinity. This first desire point works because it combines physical sensitivity with psychological symbolism. The neck represents vulnerability and trust, which awakens elements of dark masculinity mixed with safety. When a man maintains steady high-value masculinity, that balance creates powerful primal attraction. The interaction begins to carry an almost electric quality of masculine polarity. Suddenly, conversation feels different, the air feels warmer, and subconscious desire starts building quietly. And once that reaction appears, the next desire point becomes even more powerful. 2. The collarbone and shoulder line that quietly ignites attraction. A perceptive mentor often explains that the second desire point lies where elegance and vulnerability meet, the collarbone and upper shoulder line. This area responds strongly to female desire because it combines sensitivity with visual allure. When a man understands erotic psychology, he realizes attraction grows through gradual escalation. A relaxed hand placed briefly on the upper shoulder during conversation creates immediate psychological magnetism. When paired with calm, masculine confidence and steady eye contact, the gesture awakens primal attraction and introduces subtle, seductive tension. What makes this zone powerful is the emotional message it sends. The collarbone sits near the heart and throat, regions associated with trust and openness. When a man touches this area naturally, he signals masculine leadership without appearing aggressive. A gentle touch, while guiding her through a crowded space or greeting her warmly, activates female arousal triggers linked to instinctive attraction. That moment creates quiet, primal chemistry, allowing attraction dynamics to evolve from friendly interaction toward deeper curiosity. The key is rhythm rather than repetition. A man operating within a stable male dominance frame uses touch sparingly. One brief contact followed by distance often produces stronger subconscious desire than constant touching. This contrast generates erotic tension and enhances his masculine mystique. The woman begins sensing an intriguing balance of warmth and mystery. In this space, high-value masculinity appears effortless, and magnetic masculinity slowly shapes the emotional tone of the interaction. Practical moments for this touch appear naturally in everyday situations. When laughing together, a man might lightly tap the shoulder while reacting to a joke. When showing her something on a phone, his hand may briefly rest near the shoulder as he leans closer. These small gestures communicate seductive intelligence and subtle, controlled dominance. They also stimulate female fantasy triggers connected to dark masculinity and emotional intrigue. The result is growing emotional intensity that feels organic rather than forced. When this area becomes part of a man's natural communication style, it strengthens masculine polarity and deepens seductive presence. The interaction begins to carry quiet electricity as primal attraction and subconscious desire continue building beneath the surface. A woman often leans slightly closer without realizing why, drawn by the evolving psychological magnetism. At that point, the energy between them becomes noticeably warmer, preparing the stage for the next desire point, which amplifies erotic tension even further. 3. The lower back, that quietly awakens deep attraction. A perceptive mentor would explain that the lower back is one of the most powerful, yet overlooked desire points in female desire. This area sits right at the intersection between comfort and intimacy. According to erotic psychology, when a man gently places his hand on the small of a woman's back while walking together, it creates an immediate shift in attraction dynamics. The gesture communicates masculine leadership and subtle, controlled dominance. Combined with relaxed masculine confidence, it activates primal attraction and awakens a quiet layer of subconscious desire. The psychology behind this reaction is fascinating. The lower back is connected to balance, movement, and vulnerability. When a man touches this area calmly, it triggers female arousal, triggers linked to protection and guidance. In the language of masculine polarity, the gesture signals direction and certainty. A man guiding her through a doorway or lightly placing his hand there while walking beside her creates powerful primal chemistry. This moment of proximity generates seductive tension and reinforces the natural psychological magnetism between them. However, the effectiveness of this touch depends entirely on intention. When it comes from steady, high-value masculinity, it feels grounding rather than intrusive. A man grounded in his male dominance frame communicates confidence without force. That balance between calm, authority, and warmth produces instinctive attraction. The woman begins to feel a subtle current of erotic tension and emotional intensity. This is where masculine mystique begins to emerge, supported by quiet, seductive intelligence rather than exaggerated gestures. In practical terms, the moment appears naturally in social situations. Imagine walking into a restaurant together. As he guides her toward the table, his hand briefly rests on the lower back. The gesture lasts only a second, yet it communicates magnetic masculinity and presence. That short contact awakens female fantasy, triggers connected to dark masculinity and leadership energy. The result is a subtle but noticeable increase in primal attraction, deepening the attraction dynamics already developing between them. What makes this desire point so effective is its ability to merge physical sensation with psychological symbolism. The lower back represents guidance and closeness. When a man maintains steady masculine edge and balanced seductive presence, this gesture amplifies subconscious desire while strengthening masculine polarity. The woman often finds herself leaning slightly closer without thinking. That quiet shift signals rising erotic tension and primal chemistry, preparing the emotional atmosphere for an even more powerful desire point ahead. 4. The inner wrist that sparks unexpected sensation. A thoughtful mentor often reminds men that one of the most underestimated desire points sits in plain sight, the inner wrist. This area contains delicate nerve endings that respond strongly to gentle contact. In the language of erotic psychology, the wrist becomes a gateway to female desire because it blends subtle vulnerability with intimacy. When a man lightly holds or guides a woman's hand during conversation, it awakens instinctive attraction. Combined with calm masculine confidence, that small gesture can activate quiet primal attraction and growing psychological magnetism. The wrist plays a unique role in attraction dynamics because it carries emotional symbolism. This area is associated with pulse and rhythm, signals that the body instinctively recognizes. A slow touch here, especially while guiding her hand or helping her stand up, creates immediate seductive tension. When done within a steady male dominance frame, the gesture communicates masculine leadership without pressure. That balance strengthens primal chemistry and awakens female arousal triggers connected to curiosity and rising subconscious desire. The key is subtle movement rather than firm grip. A man expressing high-value masculinity understands that light contact often creates stronger erotic tension than force. When his fingers briefly rest against the inner wrist while showing her something or leading her through a crowd, the moment feels natural. This kind of touch reflects controlled dominance and quiet, seductive intelligence. The woman senses both safety and intrigue, which strengthens masculine polarity and deepens the atmosphere of emotional intensity. Social situations create ideal opportunities for this gesture. For example, while guiding her toward a dance floor or offering a hand when stepping down a small stair, a brief touch on the wrist activates female fantasy triggers tied to dark masculinity and presence. The gesture carries understated masculine mystique, enhancing the man's seductive presence. These moments stimulate magnetic masculinity, subtly strengthening primal attraction and intensifying the invisible connection forming between them. Over time, gestures like this transform ordinary interaction into a charged emotional space. The wrist becomes a point where subconscious desire and erotic psychology quietly intersect. When a man maintains steady masculine edge and grounded masculine leadership, the brief touch can amplify primal chemistry and deepen seductive tension. The woman often feels a rising warmth without immediately understanding why. This subtle shift prepares the interaction for the next stage of attraction dynamics, where anticipation becomes even stronger. Before moving forward, a quick pause. If insights like these are opening your eyes to details most men completely overlook, this is exactly the kind of knowledge that separates ordinary interactions from unforgettable ones. Don't wait until later. Hit the like button right now and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what comes next. The deeper layers of female desire, primal attraction, and seductive intelligence are about to get even more powerful. 5. The side of the waist that awakens deep sensual energy. A seasoned mentor would explain that one of the most powerful desire points sits along the side of a woman's waist, just above the hip. This region responds strongly within the framework of erotic psychology because it connects movement, balance, and sensual awareness. When a man gently places his hand there while guiding her through a space, it activates subtle female desire. The gesture communicates calm, masculine leadership and quiet, controlled dominance. Combined with relaxed masculine confidence, it awakens primal attraction and begins generating noticeable, seductive tension. The waist plays a crucial role in attraction dynamics because it sits near the body's center of movement. A light touch here creates a sense of connection without overwhelming intimacy. When a man operates from a grounded male dominance frame, this gesture naturally strengthens masculine polarity. Women often respond with increased instinctive attraction because the interaction reflects both direction and presence. This moment quietly stimulates female arousal triggers, deepening primal chemistry while reinforcing the man's seductive presence. The most effective approach is brief and intentional. A man expressing high-value masculinity understands that touch should guide rather than linger excessively. For example, while walking together into a lounge or crossing a busy street, his hand briefly resting at the side of her waist communicates magnetic masculinity. The woman senses the balance between warmth and masculine edge, which fuels subconscious desire. This interaction intensifies erotic tension, allowing psychological magnetism to grow naturally between them. This desire point also connects deeply to imagination. The waist symbolizes closeness and rhythm, which is why it often activates powerful female fantasy triggers. When combined with steady eye contact and relaxed conversation, the gesture awakens elements of dark masculinity and intrigue. A man demonstrating seductive intelligence allows the moment to pass naturally, avoiding exaggeration. That restraint strengthens masculine mystique and builds deeper emotional intensity, reinforcing the invisible field of primal attraction. Over time, touches like this shape the entire emotional atmosphere between two people. The side of the waist becomes a subtle anchor for erotic psychology, where subconscious desire and anticipation quietly merge. When a man maintains calm, masculine confidence and balanced, controlled dominance, the interaction radiates primal chemistry. The woman often feels drawn closer without consciously deciding why. At that point, the relationship between them carries a steady current of seductive tension, driven by authentic, high-value masculinity. Now here's the real question. What happens when a man actually begins applying this knowledge in real life? Understanding female desire, erotic psychology, and the subtle power of primal attraction is one thing. But embodying masculine confidence, developing a strong male dominance frame, and learning how to create seductive tension in natural moments is where transformation truly begins. The more a man cultivates high-value masculinity and genuine masculine leadership, the more powerful his psychological magnetism becomes. Think about the interactions you've had recently. Were you operating with quiet, magnetic masculinity, or were you simply hoping attraction would appear on its own? A real connection grows when a man understands attraction dynamics, respects female arousal triggers, and allows primal chemistry to develop through subtle presence and controlled dominance. When that balance appears, subconscious desire begins working beneath the surface, creating erotic tension and awakening powerful female fantasy triggers. Now, I'm curious about you. Which of these desire points surprised you the most? And more importantly, which one are you going to start applying in your next interaction? Drop a comment below and write magnetic presence. That simple phrase shows you're committed to developing seductive intelligence, masculine edge, and the kind of masculine mystique that awakens real primal attraction. And if this video helped you see attraction from a deeper perspective, thank you for staying until the end. Your time and attention truly mean a lot. If you'd like to keep exploring the psychology behind female desire, strengthen your masculine polarity, and build real emotional intensity in your relationships, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who might benefit from it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next.